And it's 33 minutes after the hour, coming to you from the Battle House Hotel in Mobile, Alabama, right here on the water, or very close to it, and taking your calls at 888-887-3837. That's 888-88-PETER. And if you can't get through on the phones, no problem whatsoever. You can always email me to peter@petergreenberg.com. Just give us your name, your phone number, your question, or your problem. We'll solve it right here on the air. Joining me now is somebody who knows just a little bit about Mobile. He's the director of the Museum of Mobile, David Alsterbrook. Hey, David.
Morning, Peter.
Good morning to you, sir. Most people, when they hear Mobile, Alabama, and I said this earlier in the show, and I have to admit this, they don't even know where it is on the map.
That's exactly right. In my travels around the country, many people would ask me exactly where Mobile was located, and I always told them just to go to their map of Alabama and go as far south as they can and without falling into the Gulf of Mexico, and they'd be right there in Mobile.
Right on the water.
Exactly.
Now we're coming from the Battle House Hotel, which is a landmark here. It's great history. They've done a great job of restoration. But, you walk around the lobby and you see names like Andrew Jackson and the year 1852.
Right. Andy Jackson was one of those.
You knew him very well, didn't you?
Oh,
you call him Andy.
Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
just checking. Okay.
You reach a certain point in your life when you become distinguished and an elder statesman. But Andy Jackson was one of those famous Americans who had been in Mobile before during the War of 1812, of course, and during the Creek Indian Wars as well. And his military career had taken him, through this area a lot. But then he came back after he had been president, and he didn't stay in this particular structure, but he stayed in the old Battle House that was located in the same part.
And that burned down, didn't it?
Exactly.
So it was rebuilt when?
I don't remember the exact year, but it was, the rebuilding actually took place around 1908. It burned in 1905.
And also, this is a big port city. People don't realize it.
Absolutely. This city had always competed with other southern ports during the years before the Civil War. New Orleans obviously was our big competitor, but also in the late 19th, early 20th century, Houston, Savannah, Charleston, Jacksonville were all our competitors.
When you think about Mobile in the scope of U.S. history, and not just the wars, but in the development of travel and tourism, how does it fit?
Well, I think that Mobile is one of those Sunbelt cities that a lot of people love to come visit. I know a lot of our tourists and visitors at the Museum of Mobile come from places like Michigan and Wisconsin and the Midwest, and spend a lot of time on the other side of the bay.
They're freezing their butts off. That's why they're coming.
That could very well be.
You might acknowledge that.
I think
just checking. Okay, fine.
That's true.
Especially at this time of the year.
Exactly.
But I mean, not just in terms of your visitors,
Right.
but in terms of the movement of American commerce.
Right.
I mean, as a port city.
Oh, I think being a port city is definitely an advantage to us as far as attracting tourists. I don't think there's any doubt about that at all.
It's funny. We were just talking about the cruise industry with Jane Engle from the Los Angeles Times, and I've said this before. When you say the words Mobile, Alabama, Love Boat doesn't really come to mind, and yet you got a cruise ship terminal here.
That's exactly right. The cruise ship, as you pointed out earlier in your show, is a relatively new addition to Mobile.
And I know you're trying to lobby to get another line to come in here.
That's what I understand.
I mean, bottom line is you preserve the history by having people come and visit and understanding the history.
Absolutely.
You got to get them here.
And we get a lot of visitors off the tour ship. Since we're located so close to where it's berthed, we get a lot of visitors who come off the tour ship and come right into our museum.
I mean, the thing is, you can book in your travel and come down a day. I always tell people, if you're going to take a cruise, don't show up the day the ship is leaving, because your bags will not be there thanks to the airlines. And therefore, you missed the ship or you missed your bags, or both. Go down a day or two early and at least immerse yourself to the extent that you can in the local culture.
Absolutely.
We're going to be talking about the food here too, but the history of food here in Mobile is also interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the food is just as diverse as our population. I mean, this city includes French, English, Spanish, Creole.
Creole, yeah, of course. Yeah.
And you can see that reflected in our culture, in our religions, and definitely in our food. I think during the 30 years I was gone from Mobile, the thing I missed most was the food.
Where were you?
I was, in different parts of the United States, like College Station, Texas, and Little Rock, Arkansas, and D.C. for 6 years, but I never found any food that was quite like Mobile's in that time.
And let's not forget the moon pie, right?
Well,
but that's not really a Mobile food, is it?
Well,
not made here.
No, it's made, I think, in Chattanooga.
Yeah, well, hey,
But-
we don't talk about those people in Tennessee on this show.
And actually, in my youth, Mardi Gras of my youth, I don't even recall seeing a moon pie.
And the reason for that is because you were drunk at the time.
Absolutely not. I was too young to drink.
Nobody is too young to drink in Alabama, and you know that. You're busted. But everybody talks about Mardi Gras from New Orleans, but it really is, it's huge here.
Yes, it is, and that's one of the things that I was interested to see the changes in after being gone for so many years and coming back 2 years ago, that Mardi Gras really has changed. And I think to some extent, Katrina had something to do with the New Orleans Mardi Gras, and I think...
Same thing here.
Exactly right.
Right. Plus, you can come back and drink again, recall your youth.
If you're able to remember your youth. Yeah.
My point exactly. You see? Exactly. You're so busted.
I know.
Give me the website for the museum.
Right off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you what it is right now.
Well, we'll put it on our website
right.
at petergreenberg.com. And you can't tell me because,
well,
have you been drinking again?
No, but you had me thinking about my misbegotten youth, and I became discombobulated.
So if you go to misbegottennYouth.com, you'll find
Yeah.
David Alsobrooks' name, who's the director of the Museum of Mobile, Alabama. Back right after this.